Hello, my name is Maria Fernanda, and I'm the host of IOScholarships Superheroes podcast.
Easy, easy, so easy.
This podcast is only a 10-minute podcast that highlights the best kept secret of IO scholars, job recruiters, and community influencers. And most importantly, we want to provide you financial resources to go to college debt free and become financially savvy. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 2024 episode of IO Scholarships. My name is Maria Fernanda, host of IO Scholarships Superhero podcast. And today, I'm pleased to announce our guest, John Douglas. He's the Associate Director at the American Welding Society. He's a scholarship guru, grant giver, research founder, and also welding workforce development champion, again, at AWS for American Welding Society. Welcome, John, to our show.
Thank you, Maria. It's great to be here. Thanks so much for having me.
Sure. Well, tell us a little for our IO scholars and teachers that are listening to this podcast. What does IWS for American Welding Society currently have available for scholarship for students in STEM?
So we offer a tremendous amount of scholarships for welding students all across the United States. In fact, last year we awarded more than 1,600 scholarships, totaling more than $2.5 million to welding students.
That's amazing. And are these scholarships also because a lot of Latinos in STEM want to pursue, instead of a 4-year university, community college? So do you guys have also scholarships in those areas?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked. So when we started our scholarship programs, it was very traditional for 4-year programs. But in the welding industry over time, as many have seen, there's been such a shortage of the welders, the actual welding professional on the ground that does the welding, that our foundation decided to shift its focus with scholarships to more of those community college and technical college short-term programs. So in fact, now we are providing about 66% of our scholarships to short-term programs. So 6 to 9 months for a student to get in there, train in welding, and really get right out in the field and start working.
Wow, what a great experience, because without training and internships, it's just the theory. So it's so valuable that you offer also the training that is so important for the workforce. And tell us a little bit about these internship and training opportunities. Are they available during the summer? Are you partnering with corporations to provide these opportunities?
So a lot of the internships are driven by our partners in industry. So many companies offer internships to the students at their local schools. So we always encourage students to go reach out to the local companies and see if that's something that they offer, because it's really widely available. Along with that is apprenticeships, something that we are really trying to promote, the opportunity to work, make money, and go to school at the same time. So there's a tremendous amount of opportunities there. And then, AWS itself provides a lot of training for students once they're beyond the school and into their professional career. We provide seminars, workshops, so that they can learn more about welding and earn credentials, such as the one that's typically most well known as the Certified Welding Inspector, CWI, that we offer.
Excellent. And I know that you also offer scholarship for teachers also, that is so important, the training for teachers in the welding industry. And actually, I was wondering if you have any specific story that you want to share with us. You mentioned something so key, that our IO scholars, most of them, they have to work and study at the same time. So it's so important that you provide also these technical skills so they can go to the workforce, with those type of skills. So if you can share some of the stories of students who won scholarships.
Yeah, with thousands of scholarship recipients, we hear so many amazing stories about the impact the scholarships have. Just one recently was a single mother of 4 children, and she homeschools her 4 children and decided to change careers and applied for our scholarships and received a significant scholarship, and just was so thankful that that was going to help prevent her from having to get loans and maybe put a little more focus on what she was doing at home in addition to training for her new career. Another story recently was a young man who had lost one of his parents, and the family was suffering financially, and said that this scholarship just made all the difference in the world. So we hear those stories all the time, that the scholarships that we provide are the difference between whether they can go to school or not. And perhaps one of the most heartwarming things is oftentimes they end their notes to us and they say that they're so grateful that the one thing they hope for is that later in life, if they have the means, they can pay it forward and provide either financial scholarships or even just mentorship and support to the next generation that's coming up behind them.
Visit IOScholarships as we have access to thousands of STEM scholarships based on your unique ethnic background, waiting for you today. Some of them only require 2.5 GPA and no essay. Remember, the more you apply, the more chances you have to win. Apply today. That's great. Pay it forward. And as a scholarship guru, I want to thank you for really diversifying the STEM workforce, because again, you mentioned the story about this lady that needed the scholarship, and we need to actually increase the representation in the welding industry of women, and this is a very lucrative industry to enter. So I really appreciate this awareness that you are bringing, because last year over $100 million were wasted because they weren't awarded to students in STEM. And actually, this type of organization like the American Welding Society brings a lot of hope to, again, a lot of diverse students that cannot go to a 4-year university and they need to go straight to the workforce. So thank you for that. And now let's go to the good things. Which tips will you provide to students who want to apply for these prestigious scholarships?
So when they go to start their application, we came up with this phrase called passion pays. So as you just mentioned, welding can be a very lucrative career, pays very well. However, once somebody tries welding, typically they're hooked and they stay in it. And so we always tell the students, show that passion in your scholarship application. Talk about your experiences as you've started in the field, and maybe the first time you tried out welding, what did that mean to you? And how did that help you determine that you wanted to go into this career? And when they really show that passion for welding and for the career, that's what the selection committees and volunteers are looking for when they review those applications. And then the second thing I would say is to become an American Welding Society student member. We just recently made that membership completely free for any student. So you can go and you can sign up, you become a member of the American Welding Society, you receive numerous benefits, but most importantly, you're now on the network to start learning about scholarships and applying and receiving that support.
That's so empowering, and thank you for offering those free memberships that are in high need, actually. So, and it's very good to learn that to apply for scholarship is so interesting to really share your passion, because sometimes it's not about the GPA, or again, it helps a high GPA, but also your story, your passion, that your resilience. So thank you for sharing those valuable tips. And now to end this episode, I was wondering if you could travel back in time to meet your 18-year-old self and offer an advice. Which advice will you give to him?
If I went back, a couple decades now, I would tell myself to stick with the math. I thought I was going to be an engineer and I really wanted to do that. And as I got into high school, the math kind of seemed boring to me and I didn't want to stick through trigonometry, and I went a different direction. So I did not go into engineering or a technical field myself. Yet now that I work here and I'm around so many engineers that are truly building America and building the next big things that are going to drive our country and society forward, I'm a little jealous of them because they're having a lot of fun. And so I think in retrospect, I wish I would have stuck it through that boring math to get to the more exciting stuff and start building. And I think fortunately we have a lot of young people these days who are thinking that they want to build with their hands and are starting to really look at these types of fields.
Very good. Well, it's never late, John, but
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing your advice and actually for building the diverse STEM pipeline that this economy needs. Because thank you for believing in diverse and underrepresented students that really need these scholarships. And I feel honored that you were able to join us for the second 2024 episode of IO Scholarship. And again, thank you for your time, John, and I hope to see you soon. And if you want to know about how to support our IO Scholarship Superhero podcast, a free way to do it is by sharing, liking, and subscribing. And once again, thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you in our next IO Scholarship Superhero podcast. And don't forget about the powers of the 3 I's for innovation, invention, and inspiration. Thank you, and see you next time.